AITA for telling my parents that my siblings and I did not turn out fine. I'm catching flack from this from all sides. But I also don't think I was necessarily wrong, so I lay the decision before you. O Oracles of Honest. Background: I 24F have two siblings, Lena 18F and Mark 17M. Our parents divorced when I was 15 and they were 9 and 8, so I was old enough to recognize a lot of ugliness in both our parents before, during, and afterward that they were too young to see. It permanently changed my image of my parents and I have little respect for them. I worked hard to become independent as soon as possible, so my parents have never had the leverage to try to force me to play nice with blended families or any of the other BS that happens. So, we all have strained relationships, but I've made it clear that I will walk if they push. We can have lunch or talk on the phone without too much issue usually. My siblings are a mess from everything that happened, though, in very concerning ways, and I'm genuinely worried about what happens to them in the adult world. The problem: Lena is currently pregnant, the father bailed, so she's going to need a lot of help. My parents agreed to go to family therapy with her to work out their issues enough to be able to cooperate as grandparents. She asked me to come too. The first session was last week and I wasn't planning on saying much, but my dad made a comment that struck a nerve. He said our kids have turned out fine, so I don't think we'll have too much trouble helping raise a grandchild. I couldn't stop myself from laughing because it was so ridiculous. The therapist asked what I thought, so I said something like, "You and I barely speak to each other. Lena has an anxiety so bad she cries anytime the wind picks up, and Mark is a proto-incel with anger issues. What universe are you living in that you think we turned out okay?" Now everyone is furious with me. My dad says I'm an and demands an apology. My mom says she knows they messed up in some ways, but it's cruel to say those things about my siblings. My sister said I ruined any chance our parents will cooperate now since dad refuses to go to another session. I'm conflicted, but I do think my parents needed their "it's fine" bubble burst. It might have been bad timing,